Hey Clashers, Electro Dragons are just insane right now because a lot of the changes in the Channel 16 update were in their favor. If you're wondering what the giant is for in this army composition, let me show you quickly. It is for protecting your Flame Flinger. But with the new update, I think we have to take a look at the equipment of every single hero as well. For the king, we keep it simple. We have the Rage Vial, we have the Vampire Stash, and Frosty. For the queen, we have the new Healer Jaw, which is quite cool, really strong, and the Unicorn obviously as well. For the Warden, might be surprising, but we're not using the Rage Aura. I will explain why. The Healing Gem is just so much better, and then obviously the Phoenix on the Warden again. For the Royal Champion, it's more simple, because we don't have that many options on the equipment. Pet-wise, use the Fox. If you don't have that, use Diggy, and if you don't have that, just use the Lassie. But now, let's take a look at the first base, and this is really a guide where I will try to explain to you how to attack different type of bases. Ring bases, diamond bases, box bases, all of those different bases. First things first, we want to take down one corner with our Flame Flinger, then send our Electro Dragons with the created pathing towards the Town Hall. First off, we place the Giant to protect our Flinger. Scout for traps, Giant Bombs, Tesla, Skeleton Traps, a lot of times those things are hiding around corners, around the outside, but then again, funneling the top right side with the Babe Dragon, and then sending your Electro Dragons in. If you're now wondering why I'm not using the Rage Aura on the Warden, let me explain. First off, it's always the better Rage, which counts. A Rage spell has 180% bonus damage, the Rage Aura has only 50. With that being said, you have overall 4 Rages to use for Electro Dragons, which you're going to use anyways, so it's always the better Rage. The next thing is, the Warden attacks quicker, which is bad for you, because you want to have your Electro Dragons being the main power, because they are supposed to attack as much as possible and chain the entire base. If your Warden attacks quicker, it might take down buildings, and your Electro Dragons can never attack, so that's a bad thing for you. And as you can tell already, we have a lot of Electro Dragons inside my aura with the loons as well, so this is just way better to keep them alive with the healing aura from the Warden, because you use the Warden ability early on, and this means you have for 25 seconds a healing, which is just crazy. At this point you can see again, just making sure that the Rage spell is there, and again the Rage Aura would not do anything. Instead we have kept this one Electro Dragon alive, which is now about to take down the Town Hall. Just imagine. Every single damage in the world would have not done anything if this Electro Dragon would have not gotten the Town Hall. And without the healing of the Warden, it would have not stayed alive for that long. So overall, a really clutch, in my opinion, equipment for the Warden if you're doing any of those type of attacks. Especially for attacks where you have Rage spells anyways for your Warden part, you don't need the Rage Aura. Next one, we have then the Royal Champion for the cleanup. We have obviously the healer, backhand equipment for the queen. Whenever it's needed, just use the queen ability. Can pop the queen ability, and those healers are going to spawn to trigger traps, spawn to your Royal Champ. It's just crazy how good this equipment is and how much of a power boost this is for your attack. As well, the Fox is just amazing for this attack because it's always going to retarget or make the defenses retarget. And with that, it's a really nice addition. Let's move on to the next base style though. We have now a diamond base, teaser style base, and a double Rage Tower base, which is pretty common. On this base though, all of the corners are well protected by either mortars or then we have maybe X-bows and stuff like that. So the Flinger is not as good. Instead, we're trying to create pathing with the Bay Dragon, then send our Electro Dragons into the bottom side, and then send a Blimp into the Town Hall. But wait a second, it's really important to know how the Tornado Trap works and where you would expect it. If a Tornado Trap is behind the Town Hall and we coming from the left side, it would rotate our troops away from the Town Hall. This is what we have to do with the entire attack from the right side. Those things are important to know when you're playing Electro Dragons and use a Blimp a lot, especially on symmetrical bases where it's like a 50-50 choice. Always know, the Tornado Trap is going counterclockwise. With that knowledge, you know where it's going to rotate your troops if it's, for example, located behind the Town Hall. For us right now, just using the Warden ability as normally, having now the healing effect there, and all of those troops are staying alive for just so much longer. Super minion inside the clan castle, Town Hall goes down, Rage spells are everywhere. Again, Rage Aura would not do anything because of that. And then the heroes around the bottom side. At this point though, one of the cool things for you as an Electro Dragon attacker is Because of the Rage Tower changes, everything has to be more stacked together if people are using the Rage Tower. Which for you is really good, because this means you have more chains now, more connections working for you in your favor. And this is now then what happens to the base, if that's exactly the case. We have sent the Royal Gem for the core, we have our heroes from the bottom side then, and we have just so many Electro Dragons still alive at the top side. Like, it is just mind-blowing how strong Electro Dragons are on Town Hall 16. Why am I showing you this, by the way, with, well, replays, kind of like not live commentary? The reason for this is I want to show you the E-Dragons versus maxed out bases, because I feel like this better represents how strong the troop actually is. Because right now, obviously, many people are not maxed out on defense. Well, with the upgrade power potions and stuff like that, you are really easily maxed on offense. This is why I feel like it's better to showcase maxed offense versus maxed defense, and that's exactly what we're doing this type of attack and this type of guide, because I can explain better of what exactly is happening with, well, not having to do live attacks. I hope you guys enjoy it quite a bit, and let's just move on to the next base style. This time we have a really super hardcore ring base, super classic. I think especially with one Rage Tower and one Poison Tower, which is going to become meta, well, that's just a super common setup. What we're going to try to do is force our Electro Dragons into the core. How do we do that? Use the Flinger at the bottom side, because you can't protect those corners. Heroes at the top side, and with that being said, everything should just go into the core. With that being said again, that's why we have the Giant in this army. Use the Giant whenever you think that there might be traps for your Flame Flinger. On this one specifically, I did not expect any traps on the outside. A lot of times they're more closer to the wall, for example, like giant bombs, skeleton traps, because a lot of people are using like barbarians or other troops to scout for traps. This means a lot of times they're hidden a little bit further inside the base. This is why I'm using the Giant now, to trigger possible traps, skeleton traps, Tesla pop-up, whatever. As well, what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to take down the air defense. With this air defense going down, this Baby Dragon which I've just placed should get the defending mortar, no problem whatsoever. With this mortar going down, this means, right, there's no other defenses which can outrange my Flinger. At this point, as I said, just get the Electro Dragon started and the heroes from the top side to create that pathing. One crucial mistake which I'm doing right now is I'm placing too many loons in the beginning. How should your normal deployment look like? Pretty easy. Do 3 to 4 balloons, then deploy all of the Electro Dragons, and then deploy all of the rest of the balloons. What this does is, if there are black mines on the outside, those first couple of balloons are going to trigger them. But the second pack of the balloons is going to be inside your Warden ability. It is going to stay alive for way longer, which means the black mines which are further inside the base are going to be triggered. For us right now, those test balloons did sadly pretty much nothing. Instead, the Warden ability though was great. I'm keep freezing the Rage Tower and the Town Hall and the Scatter to make sure that's not going off, because even though the Rage Tower is nerfed, don't let anyone tell you otherwise, it's still just so insanely strong. So you don't want to have this Rage Tower going off. In the end, it is going off because it's getting destroyed, but the Town Hall was not able to deal all of the damage which it would have done with the Rage Aura on top of it. For us right now, I'm just adding the Royal Champ now. It was kind of late because in the middle of the attack just looked so good that I was like, should I swag the Royal Champ? Well, at this point I clearly know there is no Royal Champ swagging. At this point I have to fight for the 3rd star. And again, we have the Healer Jor at the top side. This equipment is just a game changer for any arrow attacker. It's just crazy. The combination of turning your queen invisible as an ability and having pretty much a small queen charge getting spawned for nothing. This is 3 healers. It is crazy, crazy strong for those attacks where you have your queen never under a lot of firepower. And just in the end, where she is getting a lot of firepower, that's where you pop the ability, reset off the defenses, and then you have the unicorn, if it's still alive, and 3 healers on top of that, which is just amazing to get through all of those defenses. At this point, it's only about time. Typically, it's not about time with this strategy. I just added the Royal Gem that late that it's going to come down to the last second. But in the end, it's going to be a 1-second finish, and it's going to be another 3-star. So by now, we had like 1 core town hall, 1 ring base, 1 diamond teaser base, and now let's take a look at 1 box base. The corners are well protected by X-bows, mortars and everything, so this means a flame flinger is not that easy to pull off. Instead, we should try to avoid the sweepers by coming in from the flanks with the Electro Dragons, but then we have to take down the Town Hall. Again, we have to take down the Town Hall with the blimp. For that, we have to consider the rotation direction of a possible tornado trap. So if we come from the bottom left, the tornado trap would rotate our troops away from the Town Hall. But if we're coming from the top right, well, we should get rotated into the Town Hall, which is just way better. So always be aware, if you're playing a blimp, of what the tornado trap position could look like and where it would rotate your troops. For us right now, I'm just setting up the attack with the Baby Dragons, funnel everything, Electro Dragons in as usual. This time I'm doing a way better job of the Electro Dragon deployment with the balloons. As I said, first couple of balloons, Electro Dragons, wait a little bit, then the remaining balloons. That's exactly what's now happening with balloons going in. I can use the warn ability and all of them are protected, and they go even further into the base and can tank all of those black mines. The blimp flying across, we can then use the rage and everything around the Town Hall. And Electro Dragons are just going to wreck the bottom side. On top of that, it's really important to take in consideration where the clan castle is located, okay? If the clan castle is located around the bottom side, around where the eagle was, then just flip the flanks kind of with your heroes, because you do not want to have your heroes running into the clan castle. A lot of times there's ice golems in there. You do not want to lure those out. That's never good for you. Now, for us right now, I've used the queen ability already. I have now my little queen charge at the bottom side, and she's just taking so much damage. It is so good for you as an attacker, and that's what I meant. Electro Dragons themselves have gotten a new level. On top of that, a lot of those gears, like a lot of those equipments, are just perfectly for those heroes for this specific strategy. It is really nice. Now, with the Royal Champ clearing out the top side, this base has no chance whatsoever, even though our queen unfortunately is going down. But with the Fox in the end, we're going to clutch this. And by the way, this is just why the Fox is just so much better than Diggy. And anyone who tells you anything otherwise, well, I don't know how to like... Yeah, you just see it. The Fox is just so strong on a back-end Royal Champion. Diggy, and that's the only downside of this specific strategy, is not really possible to be used on any of those heroes. I think Frosty on the King is just way better. Queen Unicorn is just way better fit for this specific attack. We have then the Phoenix on the Warden, which is really good because, again, you do not want to have your Warden dealing the damage, and the Owl, for example, would have done that and take down buildings, which the Electro Dragons could have taken chains then off. So overall, best combination for Electro Dragons in my opinion. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new, and I hope you became a better Electro Dragon player. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to follow the channel for more Town Hall 16 guides and stuff. And I will see you guys back tomorrow with the next video. Until then, see ya and bye bye.